Hey guys, it's Ezra again, and welcome back. We're back in my bedroom once again, and this time I'm going to do a setup tour, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm pretty proud of my setup, despite it's fairly cheap, it's fairly basic, but it gets the job done, and I'm really happy with it. I am quite broke. Most of the stuff that I have in my studio is just thrown together over things that I've accumulated over the last 5-6 years. So, yeah, I've got 3 guitars and a bass and a ukulele. Those are the things that I kind of use the most when I'm recording. I don't use the acoustic much because I suck at guitar and I suck at even more at acoustic. But I always use this bass in my recordings, and I'll explain a little bit more about these ones in a moment. But let's go back to this guy. So this is an acoustic that I think was made in the 90s. And it belonged to my mom. It is electric, and I had to rip apart the battery slot so I could get the battery that's been in there for 30 years out of it. 30? 25 or so. Anyway, so yeah, it's really nice. I really like the color of it, and it sounds pretty nice. I'm not gonna do it much justice, but it's pretty. God, I suck at guitar. I played out this scene of you with each other, but not there with me. And that kind of love is so hard to see. Now here we are. Now I've also got the bass. So this bass doesn't technically belong to me. I've just been borrowing it for quite a long time from my aunt. She bought it for her son, and he doesn't really play it. So, with the amount that I use it, I use this literally every day at this point. She'll probably take it back eventually, but I hope not. Yeah, it's a bass, man. It's I forget what this is. I think it's just a Squire jazz bass or a Squire P bass, but it's when you think of the standard bass, this is the standard bass. This is just it's a bass, it's a workhorse, it gets it done, it's not special, it's a bass, and it's cool like that. It's like the vanilla ice cream of basses, you know what I mean? But I love it. I think the first instrument that I kind of really considered mine is this. I haven't played it in a while. It's kind of been sitting, gathering dust. This guitar cost me $175 secondhand. It is an Artist Grunge Master. I got it because I was and I still think it's really cool. The body shape, I really, really love it, and the colors were cool, and the tortoise shell scratch plate. I can't talk today. I don't regret getting this at all. It didn't cost much, and I played it until just over 2 months ago, I think. It sounds pretty decent for its price, I think. I don't know, I there's definitely some sentimental value in it for me. It's important to me. I might use it in some music videos and stuff later down the line if I want to. It's not really, compared to my new guitar, which I'll show you in a minute, it's not really valid to use in recording at all. In pain, listening to your heart pump about some new soulmate. You're so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how I wish you'd wake up someday. Come to me, just let me say. So this is my current guitar. It is a 52 reissue Telecaster. Definitely the most expensive part of my studio, but it kind of got to a point where I was prioritizing it, and this is what I'm spending my money on in life now, so guess I'll sit outside while you change your mind. Everything's in the way. I also bought this secondhand, which is a Monterey, I think, ukulele. I came to call you baby like you want me to. I don't remember how to play this ukulele. Should also mention that I also have this Korg keyboard, because when I started making or playing music, I started by playing keyboard. So yeah, I have lost most of my skills in piano. I can play this. I'm terrible at piano now. I only ever like play with a tiny little synth keyboard now and just play chords. I can't play shit. My first ever reel was actually about pretty much the same studio, but I used to have this big bookcase here, but now this entire room is my bedroom, and it used to be an office. So yeah, this is the actual setup where I record things. I've got this LED light in the back here, which I can control using my Google Home, which I also use to control this one. So I like to vibe with different colored lights while I'm doing it. I think it helps me to kind of get in the space, and yeah. So obviously the Focusrite. I did buy a more expensive interface, but then it was secondhand, so it clunked out on me, which wasn't fun. But you know what? This guy can get the job done. He's alright. This monitor that I got years ago, back when I was a gamer boy. And this is my MacBook Pro. Before I was making it on just like a MacBook Air, and that was fine, but this is definitely an upgrade. It means that I can write what I want to write. Here I've got my SE49 MIDI keyboard, it's fine. There's no weighting. It's like 61 keys. And it gets the job done once again. I record my vocals using an SM7B. So the SM7B is, yeah, it's a dynamic microphone, if you know what that means. So dynamics don't tend to be used for like vocals as much as they are, you know, instruments or live performance, but I find the SM7B is pretty cool. It's about $800, which really that hurt, man. It's really hurt. But I've had it for a while, and it's always been good enough for me. I just record with this is all I have to listen and mix with, which is pretty shit. But you know, soon I'd like to buy some open back headphones. Studio monitors won't do anything in this room because it's not acoustically treated at all. It's just blank walls, which doesn't really help much. But you know what? It is what it is, and I can still get some decent stuff done in here. So I did not expect to be recording more stuff at 1:40 in the morning, but it's fine. I don't have work until 2 p.m. So okay, so I figured, because I am quite broke, I would show off some of my favorite free plugins, because I only have one paid plugin, but I found that I've been able to really hone in on my skills by using some free plugins that I've learned over time. A lot of YouTube videos about 5 free plugins are like, but I feel like all of these are kind of very easy to use. So I guess let's start with my first one, which is Steven Slate. So Steven Slate drums, you can actually buy the full version for about 250 Australian dollars, I think. But for free, you can get 3 kits, which I think are just variations of the same sample, but it's got a nice little interface here that we can see what's going on. There is a noticeable difference between the different kits, like if you listen to the Hugo kit versus the Dry and Tight kit. I think it's the same sample, but it's just edited a bit differently. And what's really neat about this whole thing is that you can go in and you can actually edit the individual parts of the kit. When you compare it with, let's grab a free kit, grab the SoCal kit, which is just the default kit. That's what that sounds like. Another plugin that I really love is Surge Synthesizer. So this is another free plugin. This is a fully customizable synthesizer that I have no clue how to use, if I'm completely honest. But what I do know is that this thing has some really great presets. But that's a good sound right out of the box. What I find that this plugin works really well with, Izotope's Vinyl plugin. Izotope, you are my favorite plugin company. I love you guys. You guys create so many awesome free plugins that are actually good. The one that I'm going to be looking at right now is their vinyl plugin. This is a really simple interface that it has. So you can choose between 6 different decades to kind of choose what quality of sound you want. So if you have it on 1930s, it sounds old, it sounds far away, or whatever. She said it's 2000s. You kind of regain some of that sound quality. Where I really love to use it is in its warping feature. So it has this really, really nice, very natural sounding warp. Another plugin that I'm a really good fan of is a really ridiculously simple plugin, Magic Switch by Baby Audio. This thing is the most simple you can possibly get. This is the only button, this is the only slider. This is what it sounds like. So if you hadn't guessed it yet, Magic Switch is a chorus plugin, and it only has one dial, and it's a very dark sounding chorus, but it's very, very good at thickening sounds. I probably use it on every single song. Now, the last one I'm going to show you is this is the Ozone 11 equalizer. This came out fairly recently, and I found it just after it came out and was absolutely blown away. A lot of you might know the really popular Pro Q equalizer, and honestly this probably isn't as good as that sound quality wise, but the difference is this one doesn't cost $200 and almost sounds as good. As you can see, you kind of got the regular graph showing up here. You can have bands that show up like this, and they're all different colors, so you can easily tell them apart. One of the coolest features about it is its soloing feature. I think my favorite thing about this plugin is just how easy it is to use. If you really need, there are presets here, but there's not many, and to be honest, like, you don't need them. So yeah, those are my favorite plugins. I filmed this entire thing where I produced a demo, and I used most of these plugins in it, but it was the video itself, once I edited it down, was about 15 minutes on its own, and I had like 7 minutes of footage from doing my kind of setup tour, and I was like, this is probably worth just putting this in and making it 2 videos, because it didn't really feel like the same video. It felt like that one should have just been focused completely on production. It is now 2:04 a.m. I am so fucking sleepy. Good night.